Hey, Shalom, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elders and apostles, better known as the Great Millstone. Salutation, Shalom, honor and blessing to you, sincere Akim as well. Um, so the spirit jumped on me, because I was just sitting down upstairs, just playing on the phone, and then all of a sudden, the spirit just hit me to do the math behind, this so-called rape issue. Okay, now we'll go a little slow because Christians are retardando. They're slow themselves. So Deuteronomy 22 and 28. If a man, this is what the scriptures say, right? If a man finds a damsel that is a virgin means she hasn't had any sex. It could be any age. Okay, you have 40-year-old virgins, you have 50-year-old virgins, you have 18-year-old virgins. Okay, Mexicans, so-called Mexicans, they have what's called a quinceañera, where a girl becomes a woman, where she's able to be marriageable. Okay, that's usually average around the age of 15, and that was a very common practice. And a lot of so-called white people, okay, a lot of Edomites were going to Mexico and getting 15-year-old girls, Christians at that, Christians and Catholics. Okay, so if a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, so she's not promised to anyone, okay, and the man lays hold on her and lies with her, and they be found, the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver, and he shall be his wife because he hath humbled her. He may not put her away all his days. Now, the math here is what's in question. 50 shekels of silver. That sounds cheap. It sounds like, 2 quarters. Well, it's not. And you'll see. You will see. So, let's just do weight of a shekel. Okay, weight of a shekel. So, boom, there we go. Now, this is the weight in ounces. But let's do grams. 14.1 grams. Okay. So let's get our calculator out, and we will do 14.1 times 50, okay? Because we have our shekels that weigh 14.1 grams, and we have 50 of them. So how much is that? 705 grams. So let's take that 705 grams to ounces, right? Now we get 24.8681 ounces. Okay, cool. So this is where it gets not tricky, but this is where it gets odd. Okay, so let's look up the cost, or what, silver ounce price. Okay, and it bounces between $16 and $17. So I did the low end math. I did 16. Okay, so let's take 705 grams. Okay, well, it's actually, we gotta take this number now. So we're gonna take that number there. I'll put it up there just so we don't lose it. Okay, so let's take that number, which is 24.8681. Let's multiply that. Let's go, yeah, by $16, because that's the low. That's the low. Okay, $16. And there you have it. Okay, a little under $400, but that's still not right. And the reason why is because silver typically is a 1/3. It's supposed to be a third of the price of gold, and that is why you always see people talking about investing in silver, because silver is dramatically low, and it's supposed to be a lot higher. So let's look up an ounce of gold. Okay, so this is about right, about this is the average, 1200. It bounces. It can get up to 13 or 15 sometimes. But let's just call it 1200 even. Okay. So 1200 even. So we'll save this number for memory. We'll just 400. Let's put it up there so we don't lose it. Okay, and then we have, where are we at? So then we'll take our 1,290. Well, let's just call it. We'll just call it an even 1200. Okay. Now that's going to be multiplied by 24.8681. $29,000. Now, just in case, let me see. That again, 24.681 multiplied by 1,200. $30,000. $30,000. That puts it in another perspective, right? So even if we were to have the internet do this for us, times 24.8681 ounces equals $800. No, that's not right. But you still see the math. And it just kind of puts it in perspective as far as why Jacob would work 7 years for one wife and then another 7 years for another woman. Is it expensive? Shalom Gabor, Yahabashim Yashar Brakata. So, I mean, that's pretty much the short end of this lesson. I mean, it wasn't anything that's going to be too long, but you can just mess with the numbers, see on the low end and on the high end of what it's supposed to be, and it shows you that women were valuable. So if you had to work 7 years for, what was that number, for $30,000, let's divide that by by 7 years. That's $4,000 a year. Let's divide that by 12 months. That's $355 a month. That's a car payment. So it wasn't cheap. You weren't just going around, getting with a bunch of women. You weren't going around grabbing women up. It was expensive. Okay, women were expensive. So, and this isn't to big up, women like, I say, oh, you got to spend this much money up. No, that's not the point of this. It's to show you that men, this is why the scriptures all say, for many have run out of their wits for women. Okay, this is just to show you that there's consequences to everything. Now remember, this is if a woman was single, not betrothed, and she was a virgin. She didn't belong. She wasn't promised to anyone, but she did still belong to her father. She was still property, and it had value to it. Okay, now you go up further up, and it tells you what happens if a man is found with a betrothed damsel in the field. She's promised to somebody, and the man forced her and lied with her. Then the man only that lied with her shall die. But unto the damsel thou shalt do nothing. There is in the damsel no sin worthy of death. For as when a man riseth against his neighbor and slayeth him, even so is this the matter. So this was equivalent to basically murder. This is, equivalent to murder. So, these Christians won't deal with this. They don't demand for a righteous society. They don't abide by these laws. And why should they care? With Jesus, their Jesus says that they can do anything. So anyway, with that, I'm going to wrap it up. To the hopeful elect, hopefully this was edifying for brothers. Until next time, shalom.